Let's make some plant-based mushroom jerky. Welcome back to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we're going to make this surprisingly easy mushroom jerky. It is so delicious. It's a great way to get in some extra mushrooms because they're so important for your diet. They're really a nutrition powerhouse. So we're going to jump right in. We're going to start with our marinade sauce first. So I've got a tablespoon of miso. This is a dark miso. 4 deglette dates that are already pitted. 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. A half teaspoon of onion powder. 1/4 of a teaspoon of liquid smoke. A tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And a half cup of a low sodium vegetable broth. And we're just going to blend this up until those dates are completely pulverized, because we're going to blend that with our mushrooms. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of free printable recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook series, are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting membership community. So if you love our recipes, I invite you to join us on our mission to make plant-based cooking easy, and follow the link in the description to become a supporting member today. There's no denying the plant-based diet is a nutrient powerhouse, but did you know there are a handful of hard-to-get nutrients even well-crafted diets are often lacking? The latest research suggests that complementing your diet with a few specific vitamins, minerals, and omega-3s will help boost your energy and keep you thriving for the long term. That's why my daily health routine includes Complement Essential. Complement Essential contains the 8 critical nutrients lacking from most plant-based diets in dosages optimized specifically for us. As a special discount for our viewers, just use code PLANTBASEDEASY at checkout to save 15% off of your order. Okay, there we go for our sauce. And I've got 2 boxes of 8 ounces of mushrooms, so a whole pound of mushrooms. And these are already sliced, but you can use whole ones too. Or you could use portobello mushrooms or even shiitake mushrooms. Whatever mushrooms you really enjoy, but these will work just fine. So I'm going to grab my food processor and I'll show you how it goes together. Okay, so now we've got our food processor. We're just going to throw all of our mushrooms in there. Along with our sauce. Oops, I missed a mushroom there. And now we're just going to blend this. You don't want it to be liquid, but it's going to be kind of the consistency of like a pate or a spread. So it's just going to be kind of a uniform consistency, but not very many chunks of mushrooms left. Okay, here we go. That looks just about right. So the next step, we're going to dehydrate this. And I've tried it in the oven and it doesn't really work very well in the oven. So we're going to dehydrate it on these dehydrator trays, and you're going to need to have one of these Silpat things, or you could use a piece of parchment paper. It needs to be a solid thing because there's going to be liquid that's going to ooze out of this as it starts drying. And then once it's halfway done, you're going to flip it. So you'll need to have the screen also underneath it so that it's ready to go onto the screen for the final dry. So I'm making these because Jeff and I got a few packages of these new mushroom jerkies the other day, and they are amazingly delicious, but they're also, most of them, loaded with sugar and a lot of sodium and a lot of extra ingredients that you really don't need, especially oil. You can make these without oil. So we're trying to create a healthier version of that delicious mushroom jerky without all of those additives. So what you're going to do, you're just going to spread it pretty thick. It's going to be at least, it's about a 1/2 inch thick, which will make about an 8 by 8 square. And it needs to be that thick because there's so much moisture in mushrooms. So a lot of this, once you see it before it's done, it's going to be really thin, even with this thick of a depth. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to stick it into the dehydrator on 135 degrees, and we're going to dehydrate it for 6 hours to start, and then we're going to flip it and dehydrate it another 6 hours, or at least until it's really firm and chewy. All right, rewind. Before we dehydrate it, we need to put some cracked pepper on there, because that is my favorite flavor that's on jerky. It needs to have a nice bite to it. So it's going to be probably about a good ½ teaspoon of cracked pepper. All right, now we dehydrate. Okay, it's out of the dehydrator. If you want to come in and take a closer look, see how thin this got? And this is about the pliability that you want. It needs to be kind of flexible so that you can chew it. So I'm going to cut these into strips, and I'll meet you at the table for a taste. All right, guys, look at this. Yum, 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 yum. All right, here we go. Mmm. So good. The perfect snack. Come on back next week for another great recipe.